Welcome to the last of the Col-Hi Wildcats 1982 podcasts, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
Bed's a hard linoleum floor, 2 closets, 2 desks. Get on down the road, you know. Nothing fancy about it at all. But nowadays they've got, I don't know, concierge service, and pet grooming, and suites.
They got suites.
Oh man, it's a good thing I didn't have one of those. I'm glad we didn't have cell phones either back when I was in college.
Yeah, I think technology takes as much as it gives.
Yeah.
You know, I love that I can get online and find things I'm shopping for and order it online, and it's brought right to my front door.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
If you look at all the negative aspects, it really takes as much as it gives. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
The third cup of coffee gets me sometimes. Come here, Pugly.
You're only on your third?
I'm retired. I get up organically at like 8:30.
Organically, huh? So that means no alarm clock?
No alarm clock. Pugly sometimes, jumps on my head.
Pugly?
Pugly? Yeah, Pugly, the beast.
Oh, yeah. There's Pugly. Yeah, that's a great looking dog. What kind of dog is it, he or she?
I believe that she is a Brussels Griffin.
Oh,
she's a
cool.
Rescue dog.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say rescue, I didn't go to the shelter. She was running down Farm to Market 148, and I passed her and pulled over, and she came up to me, and I put her in the back of my truck.
Oh, yeah.
I put an ad in the local Facebook page, and the previous owner's neighbor chimed in and didn't have much good to say about the previous owners. So I took the ad down, and she's been mine ever since. Just spoiled.
That's cool. That's cool. I appreciate you doing this. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
It has.
So
I wasn't very.
Go ahead.
I think I spent a lot of time in my junior and senior year working. I was like on a work program where I could get out of school after lunch.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So
where'd you work?
I worked at Burger King.
Oh, yeah.
Met a lot of people that went to Sooner.
Yeah.
Had pretty fond memories. And then they hired this team leader that was he got paid the extra 10 cents an hour to be crew chief or something. And he'd make you punch out to go to the restroom or something,
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. So
class act.
Yeah. He's probably the CEO somewhere now. Who knows?
Yeah. So so what was life like back in high school as we or first off, where are we talking? Where are you at right now?
Well, I'm in mail-wise, I'm in Scurry, Texas, but I'm actually closer to Peeltown.
Huh.
And Peeltown is the hometown of Clyde Barker.
Peeltown. How do you spell that? P-E-E-L?
P-E-E-L. It's a dot on a map.
Peeltown.
A lowercase dot.
Yeah. Peeltown, Texas.
Yes.
That's cool. How'd you get to Peeltown?
While I was going to Oklahoma State Tech in Okmulgee, my parents moved for my dad's work down to Carrollton.
Oh, okay.
And so I just packed up my dorm room worth of belongings and moved down here. And I got this terrible job. Worked there for about a year and a half on heavy equipment and dump trucks and stuff. And then they had openings at DTS, Dallas Transit System. I went to work there, and I've been there ever since. They were absorbed into DART, Dallas Area Rapid Transit.
Oh, okay.
So I got there in 1985. I got married. I got divorced. I had roommates, and the roommates were not paying their bills on time. So I basically have to be lending them money every month until they paid me back. So I decided that I would get rid of that lease house and go. I had a friend that lived in Kaufman,
Texas.
that had his own house, and I figured, well, a homeowner is surely going to pay his bills on time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was wrong. I like a week, a month, I wouldn't have any phone service, and back then we had dial-up internet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We all remember that.
AOL. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What CompuServe?
So that didn't work out. I ended up purchasing an Airstream travel trailer and parking it behind a shop where I worked part-time, auto shop. And
The
lived in that for free for 3 years.
Silver Airstream,
the
mm-hmm.
big, it wasn't polished. It was a $1,500 Airstream, and
yeah.
But that saved me a whole lot of money. I paid off my Sears card.
Oh yeah.
And I was helping a friend find some property, and my neighbor next door, and he's now my neighbor. This is back in like '99. I was helping my friend locate some property, and there was a plywood sign, and I thought it said 139 acres. Well, I was with some other people going to the Lively store to get some food, and I came back and looked at the sign, and it said 13.9 acres. And I'm like, my friend's not going to go for that. So I purchased it myself. And bought a single wide trailer and parked it out front. And that's how I ended up here. That was in 1999. And I ended up getting remarried. My wife built a goat farm. She liked goats.
Yeah, goats are cool, especially baby goats.
Oh, they're hilarious. I really miss the little goats, but they're high maintenance.
Are they?
My wife ended up getting sick and passing on back in 2007.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she had, I want to say pancreatic cancer, some type of GI cancer. They never did determine where it originated, but it was 6 weeks from diagnosis to her passing.
Wow.
Really fast lane. But
yeah.
That was not a fun time.
No.
But we got past it. But while we were married, we built a house, and I guess maybe you can see this is the back corner of my house.
Oh, okay.
And that's been paid for since '07.
There you go.
I should be a millionaire, but I'm not.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Anyway, that's how I ended up in Peel Town.
Oh, okay. So going back to Bartlesville. So did you grow up in Bartlesville? Are you from Bartlesville?
Well, my dad was in the United States Army, and we moved to Bartlesville when I was 5 years old. So I spent my entire school, primary education in Bartlesville.
Yeah.
Went to, I believe it was Southside, and then McKinley, and then Central Junior High, and then College High.
Yeah. I remember you in College High.
I graduated.
Yeah. Did you have an older brother?
Well, that's interesting. I've got, at the time I had 3 older brothers, and they all went to College High. So their reputation preceded me.
I remember one of them in Boy
Well, no, it's
Scouts.
a good thing.
Was one of them in Boy Scouts?
Yeah, Michael Greenway.
Michael, maybe that's
Mike, he's 20 months older than me.
Oh, okay. All right. I think that might be the one I remember in Boy Scouts.
Troop 99.
Yeah. 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 Good job. I don't think I could have remembered that.
Yep.
So growing up in Bartlesville, you guys went to school, Col-Hi. What was College High like for you? What was high school like the senior year in particular?
I really, at that time, I don't know if you remember, I used to stutter pretty bad.
I don't remember that.
Well, I did. I couldn't get out a paragraph.
Huh.
And then people would start offering me suggestions. Slow down, slow down. That never works.
Yeah.
It just takes longer.
Yeah.
But generally, I just went to class and then got off and went to Burger King. So
yeah, go ahead.
Fairly uneventful.
Yeah. Who were some of your buddies you hung out with?
Well, Chris Autry and Scott Jansen.
Yeah.
Mark Ash, Jimmy Daxon. He was a year ahead of us, but we used to walk to town, and I don't know if it's still there, but it is the best hamburger joint there ever was, the Washington County Hamburger Store. I don't know if you recall that. It was a burger buffet. They give you the bun and the meat and the cheese, and they had like a condiment buffet.
It was downtown?
Yes.
Huh,
I want to say it wasn't far from where the Osage Theater used to be.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember if it's on Johnstone or a block off, but I lived on Johnstone.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I still remember our old phone number.
Yeah, I remember my phone number.
What is up with that?
Yeah, I know. I don't even know my wife's number right now. Yeah. I don't even know my wife's phone number right now. But I remember my phone number from in Texas, where I grew up, Waco. That's where I was born and stayed till second, third grade, and 772-5574. Still, I'll never forget it. Don't know why.
I can't forget Michael McCracken. He was a year behind us, so I guess he was a Bartlesville High School graduate. But he was one of my Burger King friends, and Bill Burnett. He was one of my Burger King friends, and I'm certain there's others. Donnie McAllister. He actually lived pretty close, and I remember probably when we were younger, we used to have water balloon fights. That was a lot of fun.
Who doesn't like a good water balloon fight? What kind of car did you get around in high school?
My first car was a 1968 Rambler American.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Had a 199 cubic inch engine. One night, I realized somebody was following me. So I didn't go straight home. I drove out towards Circle Mountain. And I passed this big Oldsmobile that was in front of me on the gravel road. And it was so gutless, it didn't even spin out on gravel. But I passed this lady, and I got ahead of her. Well, when this car that was following me, I looked in my rearview mirror, and there's these diagonal headlights. So they goosed it and went off into the ditch and got stuck. And then I later found out, I'm not going to mention any names.
Yeah.
But I found out who it was. They were trying to find out where I lived because my brother Michael was talking with one of these guys' girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
So all that over somebody else's girl.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Then I got a 74 Duster,
Oh, that's cool.
and no, excuse me, there was a one in between. There was a 1964 Galaxy 500 XL, and I drove that in, I believe, my junior year.
That was a pretty big car, right?
Oh, it was a land yacht. It was.
Okay, yeah.
I wish I still had it.
Yeah.
I'd just leave it parked in the garage.
Yeah.
They're worth so much more than the $200 I got rid of it for. I guess I blew the motor up in the transmission. So
Yeah.
then I got a 74 Duster. And that was a pretty cool car. I drove it my senior year, and then in college, and then when I got down here, I bought an '85 Toyota. That was my first new vehicle ever.
That's awesome.
Still have it, actually.
Oh yeah. How many
Yeah, I
miles?
ended up putting a Chevy V6 in it, and a Marlin Crawler transmission, T case, and did some of the, what they call it, rock crawling. So that was fun.
What? How many miles are on it?
Oh, I'll bet 400,000.
400,000.
I went through a couple of motors and changed. The drivetrain had all been replaced. Changed the gear ratios and all that kind of stuff.
You do it yourself?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
To do the engine, to do the driveline conversion, I took a week off of work. I had all my parts in a pile. I took a week off of work and I worked on that truck. And I had to take one extra day because I didn't realize that the lockup valve went in upside down. So when I went to fire it up and put it in gear, it would just die. But I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, really. 400,000 miles. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that's estimated, but that's going through 2 engines, 2 transmissions, axles. I don't know how many tires.
Yeah, really. Beats a car payment.
Oh, absolutely. Again, I should be a millionaire, but I'm not.
Well, what's slowing you down?
I'm retired now. I'm just living the life.
Oh, okay.
I'm just lucky I don't have to work at AutoZone or something.
So after high school, you graduated. What happened after high school? What?
Well, I went to Oklahoma State. We discussed part of this and how I ended up here. Okmulgee, Oklahoma State Tech. I guess I enrolled a little late to get the choice housing and ended up having a room in the ramps, as they called it. It used to be a World War II military hospital.
Huh.
So there weren't any stairs anywhere. It was all ramps.
Oh.
And my room was a closet. There was a bed pushed up against the back wall, a desk, and a wardrobe, and enough room to stand. It didn't have a doorknob. It had a deadbolt. So you had to put your room key on your neck and walk around the way to go get a shower. And I was there for less than a week, and I actually got one of the good rooms at Twin Towers. But that was a humbling experience.
Is this in Stillwater or
Okmulgee?
Okmulgee. Okay.
It's Oklahoma State University School of Technical Training.
Yeah.
And I hear it's a beautiful campus now. But that all came after I was out.
Yeah, we just had, I was in Stillwater, and you just have, there's 2 beds, a hard linoleum floor, 2 closets, 2 desks. Get on down the road, nothing fancy about it at all. But nowadays they've got, I don't know, concierge service and pet grooming and suites.
They got suites.
Oh man, it's a good thing I didn't have one of those. I'm glad we didn't have cell phones either back when I was in college.
Yeah, I think technology takes as much as it gives.
Yeah.
I love that I can get online and find things I'm shopping for and order it online, and it's brought right to my front door.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
slick.
if you look at all the negative aspects, it really takes as much as it gives.
On your Facebook page, you've got your avatar as don't tell me, it's Andy Griffith. No, I mean the show, Ernest T. Bass. Is that who it is?
Ernest T. Bass.
How did you pick that?
I was just kind of random. He's a nut.
Yeah.
And I've never been wrapped very tightly either. So it almost fits.
It almost fits. Okay.
I've never thrown rocks, but
oh man, that was a good show. He was a good character. You had on your Facebook page, I was going through it just to do research like I do on everybody, and there was one post you made about some guy says, I want to do X, and the other guy, Christian, goes, go ahead and do it. And then the other guy goes, but aren't you against X, whatever X is? And the guy goes, yes. So that means you don't want me to do it. And the Christian goes, no, you can go ahead and do it if you want. It's just not for me. And it was a good, the guy that was wanting to do whatever was just trying, seems like he was just trying to draw him into an argument, which seems to be apropos for today. Everybody wants to argue.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get into a disagreement if you don't celebrate their position. And, we don't have to celebrate something. We don't even have to like it.
Right.
I can keep my mouth shut. There's just way too much finger pointing and hand wringing in our society right now. We're seriously divided.
Right.
And it's not healthy.
Mm-mm. I don't remember it being like this when we were back in high school, but 40 years later, I guess this is what we call progress. If you can call it progress.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to delve too deep into politics.
No.
Half your audience will just hang up right now. Ooh, what happened to my monitor?
That's some beard you got. I think you win the award for best beard, well, as a guest on the show.
Not the best, it's at least long.
Longest, yeah.
It's funny the things you find to do when you're retired.
let's grow.
I've never had a really long beard. I had hair down to my belt after I got out of college. I just let my hair grow, and we weren't allowed to have beards because we had to be able to fit a respirator.
Oh yeah.
So I had a little Fu Manchu or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at my part-time job, and I was crawling on a creeper. I was crawling under a car, creeping under a car, and my ponytail wrapped up in the creeper wheel.
Oh.
Like 3 times. I was stuck like Chuck. the wheel wouldn't turn. My weight is on it.
Yeah.
So I managed to wiggle out, and I had to grab my hair and the creeper and pull it apart.
Man.
So after that, I sported a buzz cut for several years. Easy, low maintenance.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. Don't know why I let my hair grow long.
Well, you got to do stuff like that every once in a while, just to do it. Yeah. In high school, what do you remember? Any of your classes stand out that you enjoyed, or any teachers that you remember that you had some kind of an impact on you?
I remember Mr. Redmond. He was one of the coolest teachers. Speech class.
Huh. I'll have to
I believe
look
it was Redmond.
I'm gonna look it up here.
that might have been like.
Well, let's see here.
That might have been junior high.
Oh, yeah, because wasn't Touchstone the speech teacher in College High?
Ooh, I don't know. Here's an interesting story. Who was the English literature teacher?
Simmons? Male or female?
Male.
Yeah, I think it was Simmons.
Okay. In that class, I can't remember who all was in my group, but I had to do a synopsis for A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, yeah?
And I had a 20-minute presentation.
Man.
On a play that I never read. I went out the night before and got Cliff's notes, and I had 5 note cards. And I just had little note cards about the characters, and somehow I got up for 20 minutes, did not stutter. I blacked out. I don't remember the presentation, but I got a standing ovation. That was really, really bizarre.
Wow. Congratulations. That is bizarre.
I guess that's when I learned how to BS. Talking on your feet.
Yeah. I don't think I could have done that. And what kind of music did you listen to back then? What's the band that stands out to you thinking back on 82?
My favorite band at the time was Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah.
I remember when The Wall came out, I was like first in line, waiting for it to come out the next day.
Yeah.
And
where would you go to buy a record like that here in town?
Oh, there was a place across town that sold records. I don't remember the name of it, to be honest, but it was not far from, I want to say, the Penn Theater. The movie theater. Yeah.
That you mentioned the Osage Theater, which of course is not there anymore. There's just a hole there where it used to be. I remember the last movie I think I saw there, I think it was Sword in the Stone or something like that. But it had a balcony, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is really cool. It's too bad it's still not around. Those old theaters are really cool.
I don't think it was large enough to be profitable.
Yeah, it was pretty small, actually. Yeah, but as a little kid, I thought it was huge. But looking now at the space that it was in, you're thinking, man, they got a theater in there.
Well, now you got these cinemaplexes that have a dozen small theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're playing, a dozen movies at a time. So I guess the fact that they could only play one movie at a time was a factor.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't even a double. Yeah, it was just a one screen thing. The Pen was the Pen was one screen, wasn't it? And Eastland was the Eastland Twin.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. The Pen was one big screen. Yeah.
I'll bet there's one there that's got 8 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
the
Yeah,
Osage
Tulsa.
Theater, interestingly, the JCs, before they tore it down, the JCs had a haunted house event, and a friend of mine and I worked one of the displays for that. It was pretty fun.
That's cool. So any sports, any extracurricular activities your senior year, or?
No sports. When I was 12, I wrecked my bicycle and had to get a blood clot removed from my head. So my parents didn't let me play any full contact.
Oh yeah.
And when you're 12, if you don't get into it, then I mean that's a your formative years right there. If if you're getting into sports.
Yeah.
So I missed that.
Mm-hmm. You think back to high school, knowing what you know now, and I ask everybody this same question: is you see yourself, if you could go back in time and see yourself walking across the graduation stage, and what would you tell yourself, knowing what you know now? What advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Don't let people bother you. Don't let your feelings get hurt. Because they probably don't mean it.
Mm.
Young people are there's like the ringleader and then a bunch of followers. Mm-hmm. So if they're laughing at you, they're not all bad kids. They're just following.
Yeah. How did you haven't stuttered during this interview, so how did you get over that? I
have no idea. It went away as mysteriously as it began.
Oh yeah. Well, that's good.
I still do from time to time if I'm really, really tired.
Oh yeah.
But everybody does from time to time.
Yeah. But I do all the time.
It wasn't such a bad thing. You learn how to deal with stuff. Like that's probably why I'm such a clown, because if people are laughing at you and somehow you can turn that around where they're laughing with you.
Right.
Then I kind of turned me into quite the clown.
No, I totally agree with that. I've basically said the same thing. And before people can start laughing at you, if you can get them laughing with you, that's better. Yeah.
Even if they're still laughing at you, I can fool myself.
Yeah, self-deprecating humor goes a long way. At least it does with me.
I remember Mr. Burt. Now this might have been junior high, but Mr. Burt used to call me rude, crude, and ignorant.
Well, that was College High.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was rude, crude, and ignorant.
Why would he say that?
Because I was being a clown.
Oh.
I'd have these little quips that he didn't like. Mr. Greenway, you're rude, crude, and ignorant. Well, that's not gonna help. You're making it worse.
Yeah. Oh man, teachers only knew.
I remember Mrs. Branch, Frau Zweig. She had this big black dictionary, German to English, English to German.
Yeah.
And she overheard me using a vulgar term, and she got it in the right in the wrong context. So she claimed that I said something that I did not. Anyway, I got kicked out of her class, and I ended up in Mr. Brewer's, I believe it was some kind of business class, Coach Brewer.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to me one day and explained to me that everything that Mrs. Branch told him about me was false. I was a good student. And I was dumbfounded, but you have to remember that all three of my older brothers went to her class. So she was already prejudiced against another Greenway coming through there.
Oh, yeah.
Their reputation preceded me.
Mm-hmm. Were they all troublemakers, I guess?
We are what we are. I wouldn't say troublemakers.
Yeah. Spirited?
I'd hate to characterize it.
We'll just leave it at that.
Two of them are still alive.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you say these days. Oh man. Well, Jeff, it's been good to catch up with you. It's been 40 years. And I remember you in high school. Like pretty much I remember everybody. Or I don't remember everybody, but I remember you there. And yeah, I didn't have much interaction with a lot of people, but it's like I can see you walking down the hall, but that's about it. I don't think we ever interacted or anything. I think we had a few conversations probably, but anyway, well, it's good to catch up with you. I appreciate you taking the time and doing this.
Right.
I tell you what, any last words to the Wildcats out there listening, watching?
Oh man, you put me on the spot. Do the best you can. This economy will get better.
There you go. The economy will get better. I believe it. All right. Well, Jeff, yeah, thanks a lot once again for your time.
Good chat.
Yeah, it was good. We'll have to do it again.
Take care.
Stay on. Don't hang up yet. So for Scott Townsend, for Jeff Greenway, this is Scott Townsend. Thanks for watching and listening to the last of the Col-Hi Wildcats 1982 podcast. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
The last of the Col-Hi Wildcats 1982 podcast is a Deetzo Man production. Visit the last of the Col-Hi Wildcats 1982 YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
This podcast is made possible by our Patreon members, Butch Bowen, Ben Townsend, Mark Thompson, Glenn Goodrich, Sandra Yeager, and Christy Brooks. And by the generous donations made via the GoFundMe campaign.